Greetings. My name is Grafton Eliason. You can call me Grafton by my first name, or you can call me Dr. Eliason, whichever you prefer. I'm comfortable with Grafton. And so, welcome to our DSM class. Um, I wanted to give you an introduction to myself and the class and the syllabus so that you'll feel comfortable taking this course online this summer. I did teach a DSM course the first 7 weeks of the summer, and that was what we call a multimodal class. It means you could be face to face, you could be live on Zoom, or you could just take it online. I did record the classroom lectures, and I also have pre-recorded lectures with just me. But if you're watching one of the videos and you see a classroom full of students, uh, that's for last semester. I just thought it would be helpful for you to see some of the supplemental information and questions provided in those classroom environments. I also have recorded lectures on each subject and diagnosis. That's just me. But please don't be confused if you see a classroom full of people on a video. Um, that's not happening now. I just thought it would be helpful to share that with you. Um, so uh, let's look at the syllabus, and we'll go through each part of the class, and we'll look at D2L as well, so you can become familiar with our schedule and what's required. And if you have any questions, email is the best way to contact me. I check it every day, all the time. I will not be in my office much this summer, only around class times where I'm teaching face to face. So don't leave a message on my office phone. Just, contact me through email and I'll usually get back with you the same day. Okay, so let me share my screen and we will look at D2L. Okay, so this is my Penn West, and this is where everybody will normally log on, and you sign in using your student ID and password. And we'll go to D2L Brightspace, and as you scroll down, you'll see Summer 2024 Psychopathology Diagnostic Processes. That's this class, and we'll click on it, and it will take you to our announcement screen. And you should have received this very first announcement in an email. But let's walk through it because it's some basic information. This is only a 7-week course, and it's usually a 15-week course. And even in a 15-week course, we don't have time to go through every single diagnosis. But I tried to choose most of the diagnoses that you will encounter, and I think we do a pretty good job of examining those and learning about them. But 7 weeks, moving a 15-week course down to 7 weeks, will take some extra work on your part because we're actually every week we're actually fitting the information for 2 classes into one class. So there'll be a little extra reading and, but I think it is manageable. I tried to only pick what was absolutely necessary. And when we look at the syllabus, I can show you that I removed some of the assignments, some of the larger assignments, and most of this course will be discussion boards and a final paper. And we'll talk about that as we look at this. So even though we don't have a live classroom experience and you can take this totally online, I do offer a 1-hour Zoom meeting each week so that you can ask me questions about the material or make comments or ask about assignments, whatever you'd like to ask about diagnosis. So every Thursday night at 7 p.m., I will be on Zoom to answer your questions. And this is the Zoom link that you'll use. So you don't have to attend this. It's only if you want to. It's if you have any questions or want to talk to some of your classmates. It'll be pretty informal. And I just want to make sure that I'm meeting all of your needs, answering all of your questions. And I thought just offering a time on Zoom would help with that. If you have a question and you cannot make that time on Zoom, email me and I will either answer you in email or we'll set up a time to talk on the phone. That's convenient to you. Okay. So that's the Zoom link. I upload a lot of materials to D2L, and so you'll have syllabi, notes, readings, videos, discussion boards, all kinds of things. And I will, let's see. So I did include some links to the textbooks, and we'll talk about the textbooks when we go over the syllabus, but you can get them at the bookstore. You can order them from Amazon. You have a choice of 2 books. You can get either one. So let's just take a look at the outline I'm using for D2L. And if we go to content, you'll see week 1. And so this is all the information for week 1. So let's look at, here's the syllabus and we'll look at that together. And I have a video lecture on the history of diagnosis in the DSM. And I do provide all of my notes to the class. And I never liked it when professors would be giving a lecture and they'd be looking at their notes and I'd have to write frantically. I'm like, just give me your notes so I don't have to, everybody in the room is writing down what you say and we're missing stuff and asking questions and just give me your notes. So I never understood why teachers and professors didn't just give the students their notes. I will say that if you use my notes and you think something's missing, or maybe something is from an older version of the DSM, I tried to update everything, but if you want to add or change anything, I think they're in Word documents, so please do so and email them to me so that I can update them for all the students. I do update them consistently. And but please feel free to edit them and update them and add things, and I will pass that on to the other students as well. I do post journal articles, like this is a journal article on being sane in insane places. And that's one of the journal articles you'll read for this upcoming week. And this, I do provide videos, usually from the library or PBS. Um, so, for instance, this is a really long video from our library, and it's from a database on our library website called Films on Demand. It's a training seminar for the DSM-5. It also applies to 5TR. And you don't need to watch all 6 hours. So, try not to freak out when you see that. I would like you to watch the following segments. They're a little under 2 hours total. So segments 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 13. And especially the ones on like differential diagnosis. Um, if you have trouble getting to any of my videos, let me know so I can check the link and fix it. And but you could also go to My Penn West, click on Library, go to Resources at the top, go to Films on Demand, and search for, in this case, Mastering DSM-5 and ICD-10 diagnosis. Or I usually provide an extra link if needed. But you should probably just click on this, see if it works, and watch these segments of the video. So basically this week you've got this video, you've got the syllabus, you've got a video lecture on history of diagnosis, you've got my notes, you've got a journal article on being sane in insane places, and you've got this video presentation where you'll watch these segments. So when we go down to the discussion boards, because I deleted some of the larger assignments due to time constraints for a 7-week semester, 70% of your grade is discussion boards. So please take your time writing that discussion board. It's not just a brief 1-paragraph thing. So for instance, for this one, it asks you introductory questions about yourself, what brought you to clinical health setting, what are your expectations for this class? Do you have any experience in counseling or a related field, or maybe you were a teacher? Or what do you see yourself working, doing after graduation, or are you already in the field? Please read the assigned book pages and comment on your readings. Please read on being sane in insane places, respond to the article. What's your reaction to it? Was it ethical? What are some issues? Do any of these issues continue today? And finally, please respond to the questions in the post, the class lectures, the readings in the book, the article on being sane in insane places, the video from Films on Demand, the notes, any reactions you might have this week. This is not just an overview of what you read and watched. Please include your own insights and opinions. I want to hear what you think. What are your reactions? I just don't want a review of what was said or read. I realize that this is a lot of work. However, we only have 7 weeks, and discussion boards have replaced quizzes and a project for the summer course. So I think you'll enjoy doing a discussion board much more than taking quizzes or doing an extra larger assignment. So the discussion board post should be at least one single-spaced, a one-page single-spaced minimum, or two double-spaced pages. So I usually write it in Word and then I cut and paste it into the discussion board. So I don't upload a Word document. I just write it in Word so I can make changes, make sure it's, one page single space minimum, and make sure, you hit all of the different things. Um, and then I cut and paste what I wrote into the discussion board and upload it. So all of our discussion boards are going to be due Saturday night, following Saturday night. So this one's due next Saturday, 10 p.m. Also, please respond to 2 other students. So I want you to be reading what other students post as well. So you'll be able to have a dialogue with them and interact with your fellow students. And then I'll respond and grade your discussion posts the week after they are due. And what I normally do to respond to discussion posts is I read your post, and I usually write a short paragraph. I answer any questions you have. I make any comments to you personally in that first paragraph. And then I usually provide a couple general paragraphs, my thoughts on the week's material, any supplemental comments I might have, and that's the same for everybody. So the first paragraph is to you individually and what you posted, and the rest of it is a general post that I give to everybody. So that's the way it works, and I hope that will work for you as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at on D2L. Let's move on to the syllabus. Okay, so this is just some regular things. Um, Course objectives really based on our KCREP standards. So my teaching methodology, I think it's important to share that with you. I don't know if most professors share that with you or not. Or maybe they just have kind of the regular teaching methodology, take some quizzes, write some papers, give you a grade. Mine's a little different. My philosophy of teaching is called mastery learning. And that just means that I would rather you master the material and understand the concepts, in this case, diagnosis. That's more important to me than just giving you a grade. And what that means is that if you don't understand something, or maybe your discussion post is too short, or you missed something, you didn't include a comment on something, you didn't respond to 2 of your classmates, whatever it might be, I'm going to, write, please include such and such, or please rewrite this section. And I'm going to let you resubmit it so that you can get full credit. So my goal is to do whatever it takes to help you to be successful and to understand this material, because you're going to be dealing with real human beings in practicum, internship, and in your practice as a professional counselor. So I think it's really important that you have a full understanding of diagnosis because it impacts people's lives. So my goal, I don't really care about a grade. My goal is for you to gain the knowledge that you need in this course subject to become a good professional counselor. So I might ask you to resubmit it. I want you to get full credit because that means I think you understand the material. If you're going to a surgeon, I don't want to have an operation by a surgeon who got a B in that class. I want a surgeon who understands what needs to be done, who has mastered that knowledge and those concepts. So that's our goal, you know. Um, the only thing I cannot have you resubmit is the final paper because that's due on the last class. And grades are also due that weekend. So I cannot give you extension on that. I can't have you resubmit it. Okay. Technology will be using D2L primarily, and I will have that 1 hour for questions if needed on Zoom every Thursday. Okay, so here's the books. And I really don't like using textbooks. I'd rather buy what I call a real book or a book that you would find useful. So I think every licensed professional counselor is going to need a DSM. And I have two options for you. One is the desk reference, which is a very small book, but it has all the diagnoses in it. So it's much less expensive if money, finances are an issue. You know, that one's much less expensive, but it has the basics. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders is a much larger book. It gives you the etiology. It gives you a lot more information about every diagnosis, but it's also much more expensive. But I think you'd be able to keep either one of these and use them in practicum and internship and then in your career. So honestly, I think they're well worth the money. I bought both of them, one to carry with me and one to keep in my office. Um, the I have experienced almost every diagnosis. Uh, and I'm currently working at a hospital in their psychiatric unit. Um, and, and I've been in the field about 30 years. So hopefully you'll enjoy hearing some of my stories, some of my examples with clients or patients. And I think, as you watch my lectures or hear my stories, comment on them in the discussion post. Don't just comment on the notes or what you read, comment on the stories I share, on the cases I discuss, on my own beliefs about various diagnoses and treatments. What's your reaction? And it's okay to disagree with me as well. I won't be offended. I'd like to have a discussion. There's another text here, show me all your scars. It has some case examples in it. It's not required, but I throw it up there in case you're interested. All right, so assignment number 1 is the assignment I removed. I don't think you actually have time to work with a partner and record a role play and then answer all of these questions and write a 10-page paper in the middle of only 7 weeks. And so that's why there's so much emphasis on writing good, detailed discussion posts. So you don't have to do this one. But you do have to do the final paper. And it really just takes you from assessment, diagnosis, criteria, differentiation, and treatment planning. And I will have an entire video just talking about this final paper 2 weeks before the end of the semester. So don't worry, don't stress out. It'll all be good. Uh, I used to have exams and quizzes, and we're not doing them this summer. We're doing discussion posts. So please, once again, put your time in on those discussion posts. Here in our grading rubric, you can see that discussion boards are 10 points each, equaling 60 or 70 points, depending on how many we can fit in. And assignment 2, the final paper, 30 points. So we don't have assignment 1, we don't have exam 1, and we don't have exam 2. With that being said, you should still try to memorize at least what's in my notes. Use my notes as a study guide, because much of this will be on the comps and the National Counseling Exam, the NCE. And you won't have time to study or cram before you take that exam. So study now as you're taking the classes so that you won't be overwhelmed when you have to take that exam just before graduation. So even though I don't require exams, study as if I did. It will help you out in the end. And why not? You need to know this stuff. You're actually working with clients. They require us to put in a grading rubric. I'm hoping that everybody gets full credit, especially if I allow you to resubmit. That's my goal. I wish all of our courses were pass-fail. You either know the information or you don't. So, hopefully that relieves some stress, even though this is a lot of work for 7 weeks. Portfolios, you're going to upload the final paper to Tavera and write a paragraph reflecting on what you've taken from this course. That paragraph is not an evaluation of this course. It's something about you. What did you get from the course? Even a horrible course, I can get something from. So this is some of our Title IX stuff and some references, some resources for you. This is the Office for Students with Disabilities. If you have a disability, I'll be happy to accommodate you in any way I can. And but please contact the Office for Students with Disabilities if you need to. Academic integrity. Please do your own work. Tell me your own reactions and responses. I would not cut and paste a lot into these discussion boards or final paper. I would make it your own. And we have our tentative course schedule. And the one thing I want to point out in this course schedule is we have REF, that's the desk reference. And I wrote down what pages to read. And the DSM, that's the big book, the big DSM. And I wrote down the pages to read. So no matter which one you purchase, you'll know what to read for each week. And it just tells you what we'll be covering each week. All right. So that is the syllabus. and we went over everything for this week. If you have further questions, email me or come to the Zoom meeting on 7 o'clock Thursday night. I hope this has helped. If you're on campus, I'm in Building B, Office 312. In the summer, it's easy to talk on the phone, or if you're able to come to the Zoom meeting. So I hope this explains everything and helps you to feel more comfortable with this upcoming 7-week semester in the DSM class. And just remember, even though this is a lot of work, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of watching videos, and please don't fast forward through those videos. Even though it'll show you've got 100%, what D2L shows professors is statistics on how long students spent on each reading, on each video, on whatever it might be. So, you don't want it to show you spent 2 minutes on a video or 5 minutes on a video. You want it to show that you watched the whole thing. And don't skip any, you know. Make sure you write about each thing that is included in this week's D2L and every week's D2L. Respond in some way to each piece of information, the readings, the videos, my lectures, the films from the library, whatever it might be. Make some comment about each one. Okay, I think that's about it. I think we'll have a good semester. And like I said, if you have any more questions, let me know. Thanks.